I've got a story to tell. It's a true story. I've got witnesses to it. My younger brother was there involved in it. When I think I was about 18 years old, I had this dog that I just loved. Actually, the same dog that caught on fire. So I don't know what this dog is about. A lot of interesting little stories there. It's the same dog that chewed a hole in my waterbed in the middle of the night and also ate my cowboy boots down to the heels. So this dog was possessed. And the dog, when it was little, ran away one day and just took off, and I never saw it for, oh gosh, probably at least a week. And I was sitting out in my front lawn one day, and I felt like I was a very young Christian at that point, just barely come back to the Lord, and was very confused. I grew up, in a church home, and so, went through all those struggles. But one day I was sitting on the front lawn of our home, and I felt this just very strong urging from the Lord to get in my truck and start driving. And I said to my brother Ken, I says, Ken, I don't know what's going on here, but let's get in the truck. I think the Lord's directing me to go find this dog. Well, he looked at me like I was totally crazy. And of course, there's no debate in that area, but he followed, and we jumped in the truck, and I'm not exaggerating. This is the absolute truth. We went driving down the driveway and out on the main highway, and we're driving along, and Ken's going, well, what are you doing? Where are you going? I says, I don't know. And we're driving along, and sure enough, I just felt this very strong impression inside my spirit to just make a left at the next signal, and I did, and went down about 4 blocks, and I felt the same nudge to make another left. I'm thinking I'm totally crazy, and Ken is looking at me like, obviously this guy's lost it. And we go driving down this little back road in this residential section, and this nudging from the Lord says, stop. So I stopped the truck right in the middle of the street, and it says, that house right there on the left, go up and knock on the door and ask them if they found the dog. Well, this is miles from my home. You can do this if you had just 1 block, but I'm talking in a whole city. And I knock on the door, and sure enough, these people had my dog. I mean, they were flabbergasted. They were, wondering how in the world I could find them like that. And I'll never forget Ken and I looking at each other and just going, oh my gosh, God just did a miracle right there. In a very simple thing like finding my dog. Now, I don't say that because that's an everyday occurrence. I've had lots of experiences like that, and maybe many of you have too. And so it's nothing special in terms of unique to me. It's the way that God likes to put that signature in our life, that He is there, He's present in our life, and He cares about the little things, the big things that count in our life. And so I share all that because one of I think the most critical aspects of the shepherding relationship that we have with the Lord is that He is not some person who's hidden in a book. We don't worship a book. The Bible speaks of the Lord, and it's a living word, and it describes how He works. And of course, He's not going to tell us to do things contrary to His word. There are people out there that are trying to rewrite the Bible or tear pages out, and I don't want to waste my time on that discussion. I am just absolutely convinced that God's Word is a living, active, powerful tool that He has put in our life that we might know what His will is. But we also have a God who's actually participating in our life through His Spirit, known as the Comforter. So I say this little thing just simply to encourage you that don't be afraid to step out in what the Lord is showing you in your prayer time and in your relationship with Him. This is the Christian walk is about a relationship that we have built with a living God who desires a relationship with you and I, and not just to learn some facts. There are people who read marriage books who have all the facts about what the ABCs the ABCs of a marriage is, but that's not what makes a marriage. A marriage is about relationship, and the characteristic of our relationship with God is based upon the fact that He reached out to us, He loves us, He will never leave us or forsake us, and He's always there with us. So there are so many things out there blocking. I think if you go through the New Testament, you'll see consistently things that were always being put in front of people to block them in their relationship with Jesus Christ. And there's a myriad of things. And I think the enemy works very, very hard at doing whatever he can. He'll use any method. Nothing's sacred to him. He'll tempt you in your flesh. He'll use religious people. He'll use non-religious people. It doesn't matter. He'll do whatever he can to keep you shaken and in a place where you're not confident that you have a Lord and a shepherd who just wants to literally be involved in your life. So my encouragement would be, and I would even dare you to just simply say a prayer, Lord, make yourself very real to me. He's probably not going to do the same thing. I'm sure he won't. Same thing that he did for me to show me his personal care for my life. But he will show you something. And I really dare you to just bow your heart and ask God to make himself real to you in a very powerful way. And then let him do what he wants to do. And I'll tell you, it will do wonders for you when it comes to you moving forward, getting going, serving him, not looking back, you name it. Boy, there's nothing that will strengthen your walk in this world any more than to know that he abides with you. Amen.